The propaganda about socialism. Now, I get really tired of seeing some of the mindless comments that I see. So let's look at this comment section real quick here, and we'll start off from that. See, I get these comments, like, don't you know socialism paves the way for communism? Um, didn't you know that Oh no, I put that. Didn't you know that slavery thrived for centuries under capitalism? But see, I get a lot of comments by people that all they're doing is regurgitating old Cold War propaganda, post World War II anti Soviet propaganda. They say socialism leads to communism and socialist state bad. But what they never do consider, though, is that Marx, he was an economist. That was all a critique of capitalism. And Stalin, that guy was a real bad person. See, I'm keeping it real friendly. Like Stalin, I don't appreciate Stalin one bit. He demonized socialism by having all those gulags and everything, and he never did have democracy in the workplace. Without democracy in the workplace, you can't have socialism. So it's just plain and simple. That's the way it is. So anybody telling you that, like they're trying to come and take half of your stuff, just don't believe them. Like socialism kills innovation. But my idea of socialism doesn't have anything to do with killing those innovation. It doesn't have anything to do with like taking half your stuff and all that kind of stuff either. It's like corporations, for instance. I don't think that like the government should take over corporations and everything. Corporations should basically stay the same with stockholders and all that, but just add an element of co-determination in there. All right, now animal, back up. My dog is, my puppy was licking my elbow. Stop it. But anyway, yeah. So there's no like taking over corporations by the state for socialism. I'm like democratic socialism. That's what I like. I just want to make sure that labor gets their just due. Hey there. Yeah, I just want to make sure labor gets their just due because, after all, there isn't anything that's made or bought or sold or nothing without labor. So you got to have labor. So, and labor's getting, like, I don't know, trying to keep trying not to be my usual rough self, okay? Labor's getting it up the you know what. So you have to have a list of demands, right? Because if labor's getting screwed up the yin yang, you have to have demands if you're going to go on strike and do something about it. And that's where like part of socialism comes in is you have to, like with democracy, for instance, you have this bullcrap democracy we have now that's more like showmanship democracy or whatever, all theater and everything. Then you got true democracy of the people, and the only way you're going to get true democracy from the people or by the people and everything is from the people. The people have to institute it. All those rich slobs up there and bot politicians, do you think they're going to like voluntarily hand over power or anything? Heck no. So you might have to force the issue, right? Like strikes and everything. So, like with socialism, to me, co-determination, that would be one of the biggest things that you'd have to have because that's putting workers' voice right there in the corporate boardroom. Co-determination. You got 50% worker reps in there, 50% stockholder reps. And that way you got a voice in the corporations who send lobbyists to Washington and chew on political ears. See, so that's the start of it. And then, of course, you have to have a nonpartisan Speaker of the House. So to me, these are like socialist things. And you tell me what's bad about any of that? Nothing, right? And somebody was talking about, oh, I don't like the idea of having um, food stamps. Yeah, he said they piss him off and everything because he don't like the idea of food stamps taken from some people that don't have or that have and giving it to these other people who don't have. Well, think about this now. Imagine if we got some big old war, all right? I mean, this is just an extreme example. Imagine if we got a big old war and people, because they're all patriots just like you and me, we're all signing up to join in the military, right? What do you want to have? A bunch of weak, malnourished people showing up to the military? Heck no. You want to have well fed, strong people showing up. Hey, could you donate me Roblox? No, I don't even. Checked out that Roblox, and I don't really care for it. I'm more of a GTA online guy. I do live streams of GTA online. But anyway, um, yeah, what was I talking about? I got off on a tangent here. So, anyway, you have to have some. What's it? Oh, hi, how you doing? Yeah, so don't consider all that propaganda because who's going to tell you all the propaganda anyway, right? The corporations. They're going to tell you stuff like, you should have the right to work law so that you can voluntarily quit any old time you want to and it don't count against you. Yeah, they can fire you buddy any old time they want to and it don't count against you. It's union busting. So unions plus co-determination, that's the key because you have to have unions in there to help organize labor so that whenever it's the time for the board of directors vote to come up, the union is organizing labor, and that way they vote for half of the board of directors, right? And that way, boom, you got representation in there, true democracy, and that is socialism. Over there in the Soviet Union, they didn't have nothing like that. They didn't have any workers on their whatever the Politburo or whatever the hell they called it back then. They didn't have any workers on it. What they actually did is all the people that were in industry, the heads of industry before the Soviet Union, they became the heads of the industry after the Soviet Union was formed. All the same old guys, all the same old grift, except, with a totalitarian twist. But anyway, yeah, so don't believe all the propaganda about how socialism is terrible, going to try to take over the world and all that kind of garbage. I'll tell you one thing, Marx's ideology, Karl Marx's ideology, it has spread faster than any other ideology, including Christianity. And so that must mean that there's something to it. There's lots of countries on earth that have socialist policies. Finland, Norway, lots of places have it. And just consider, oh yeah, and about Venezuela too. People talk about that Venezuela failed and Cuba failed and all that because of socialism. One person even said that Venezuela picked up socialism because Bernie Sanders made him do it. Now, see, that is the ridiculous kind of propaganda that's just spewed out there like, I don't know, like a water hose, but it ain't helping at all. But Venezuela, they were really under like an economic attack by the United States because the United States, they feared a threat to the petrodollar. So they just put sanctions on them and all that. And then Cuba, about them having sanctions on them for, over half a century because of the Soviet Union and everything, right? So there you have it. So it's not like that socialism failed. It was just socialism was never given a chance to breathe. It was crushed out by authoritarians like Stalin and Mao and stuff like that. That wanted to I don't know, like in the in the French Revolution and all that, whenever they had all those guys in there that was all high and mighty and everything, well, I know more about it than you do, and all that. What happened? You got people's getting their heads cut off. But anyway, that's what I got for you. Don't let them fool you about socialism. Advocate for co-determination so you can have a voice in the workplace, and you have to have a nonpartisan Speaker of the House. Now, I got a list of demands going: nonpartisan Speaker of the House, um, open primaries everywhere, uh, uh, a proper wage, because he's my grandpa. But you got to have a thriving wage, and you have to have a cost of living increase every year, stuff like that, right? So what's so bad about that, right? Nothing. And that's, like, for me, socialism. So there you have it, folks. I want you guys to have a great day. Thank you for stopping by. Love you all, and so long.